flowers. I hope I can carry them back today. Yes, sir, मैं पकड़ लेता हूँ. Thank you.
Our worthy chief guest and make best use of his time because he has time again, and I now request him to take the stage and start interacting with this wonderful crowd. Thank you so much. Issues related to the teachers of SSA in Jammu Kashmir, and he's also an author of numerous books. Among them, Not Just a Civil Servant is read by almost every aspiring civil servant. He has a unique perspective regarding civil services, regarding the preparation in general, and also regarding the one very specific paper of our syllabus, that is ethics, integrity.
One of the recent interviews with Barkha Dutt.
Okay.
That was a very wonderful. So my question will be, how should we work on our personality? Like ultimately, I think it's a 3-tier exam, right? The final stage is interview. How can we work on personality?
So he was discussing the capitalism and telling us all about how the capitalism has played a role in this. So where do we mark the line? So because we have to be generalists in our approach since we are the future civil service.
24 UPSC. So even if a student want to appear in this exam, how we have to go and prepare for the exams first of all, and how we have to just apply different strategies for the different stages as prelims, mains, and interview as well.
Strategize and how to do things, as we have helm of resources nowadays available. But how to negate the negativity which is around and spread nowadays? How to negate that negativity?
First of all,
seen the tendency कि आजकल सब कहते हैं कि your answers should be different from everyone else's. For example, if you have a core book, I'll take the instance of anthropology for example. There's a book called Akshat Jain. So I study that book as my core book, and then I make some additions from other books. But there's a tendency कि आजकल सब कहते हैं कि नहीं जी. सब कौन है? Some teachers also. So do we write answers that are generic or?
I don't think that I am able to do justice to the syllabus.
What have you done so far? That is very important because now we are in the month of December almost.
Yes.
So what have you done? Because I usually suggest that the first understanding reading should be over by February. Everything. You should not leave anything for the main exams after your. When is your exam? You are appearing in IAS. UPSC.
Yes,
UPSC, you should be able to complete your entire syllabus by February. Will you be able to do that?
Sir, I am.
Study that subject from scratch. And surprising that if you were so interested in geography, why did you pursue and fill in political studies? So you would have normally done geography. But since you've done that, you'll have to learn geography from scratch. Normally, I suggest geography to people who are from science side and want to take a subject in mind. To them, geography is fact-based, not so much opinion, so it is good for them. But if you've done your MPhil,
मसलीस खुद नहीं चलाता होगा. मसलीस कार का मजा चलाने का है. और पीछे वाली सीट बड़ी अनकंफर्टेबल होती है.
Anyway, from here to Ladakh, but he took me deep inside mountains to understand what was ailing school education. But I'm not going to talk about school education. Today, I will talk about how you as aspirants to civil service can and should prepare. My entire discussion will be around building a mental frame wherein it becomes easy for you to prepare. It's very important. I will talk about what to prepare and how to prepare, but I will also talk about how to prepare to prepare. Because mentally, if you're not prepared for preparing for the civil service, then the entire journey of this examination becomes a burden. Does it?
Yes.
You feel under pressure and I'm not good enough. You don't have confidence in yourself. You feel there's so many good people. Look at Mr. Anil Swarup, he came here and spoke so well, and I am nobody. I can't speak a single line. So let me start with that. What you see of Mr. Anil Swarup is a finished product. when this product was being made 45 years ago, then I was as good or as bad as any one of you sitting here. So never ever think that so and so came and spoke so fluently and so well, and I will never be able to reach that level, and hence I will never qualify. No. Let me give you from my own life an example of what I was, because now you see what I am. But let me share with you what I was. When I did my class 12, I had science as my subject, physics, chemistry, and maths. How many of you from science background? So all of you will understand that while studying science in class 12, you hardly have time to look after your communication skills. You are only totally preoccupied with sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. I hope that equation is correct. Now beyond it, you didn't have time to read, speak, or say anything. So was I. But I switched over from science to humanities after my class 12. Because in those days, getting into the civil service, it was considered that you should take humanities. It was all nonsense, but that is how it was. So I switched over to humanities. Then, in the next stage, I will tell you to present your view on that article. Initially, you are only mentioning what you read. Then you came to a position where you may be able to counter the argument presented there. Like you're doing it right now. You have a very good argument to counter what he's saying. I will answer this question once you qualify. I go to the academy, talk to people, what are the problems, how you manage them. There is no other problem in the country except yours. Absolutely focused on what is happening to you now. Next 1 year, 2 years, don't think about any other problem. Because if you do that, you will never be able to solve country's problem in any case. You won't be able to solve your own problem. If you qualify with the civil service, you may perhaps be able to solve the other problem also. It's not the idea. You are absolutely correct. As a civil servant and by writing an exam, you have to have a balanced view. Okay? But when you are studying and approaching that place or that learning process, you have to understand how an argument is built. What is the logic he is using? You will disagree with the logic, but his argument is unlogical, right? उनको लगा है कि आपको तो सिर्फ एक ही लगन है civil service exam qualifying. Obsessed. You have the capability because as you speak, you're so articulate, you're so logical, you have it. You qualify. But don't digress on any problem of the country, any problem civil service or not. So you have to develop those skills. You will also understand it. If you come across somebody who speaks well, who's able to convey his ideas properly, who you understand, you're more attracted towards him, no? Yes. And if somebody is blabbering, he's unable to speak, he's incoherent, you don't like him. That's what life is. So you have to develop communication skills. How do you do that? Again, going back to the newspaper that you have, open the editorial page, pick up any one editorial article. Okay? Stand in front of a mirror and read the article aloud. Now you will say, what funny thing you are saying, how does that help me in my civil service exam? This fellow coming all the way from Delhi and telling us to read it aloud. And your people around you will laugh at you. He क्या कर रहा है शीट एग्जाम में खड़े होकर पढ़ रहा है मेरे को भी हंसते थे लोग जब मैं ये करता था आज मैं हंस रहा हूँ मालूम नहीं वो क्या कर रहा है. So you have to read it aloud and record it in your phone. Why? Because then when you listen to it, you will understand where you went wrong. You will also be able to see the improvement that will come over the days. I am telling you will improve. So, सुना तुम कल जो है भाग नहीं ले रहे हो. मैंने कहा बॉस वो आपने देखा सबने मुझे बू करके बाहर निकाल दिया. इसके सामने कौन जाएगा? बोले दो गलतियां करो. एक गलती तुमने की बिना तैयारी के तुम गाना गाने पहुंच गए अपने आप को तानसेन समझते हो. अब दूसरी गलती ये कर रहे हो कि जो तुमने जिसकी तैयारी की वहां तुम नहीं पार्टिसिपेट करो. काफी लंबी चर्चा हुई. 1 घंटे बाद I came to this conclusion that I should participate in the debate. I had overcome my fears. So next day, the announcement in Anil Swarup जैसे ही मैं आया बोले रे गायक आ गया सब लोग बोले थे वो सबसे फ्री अपना गाना सुनाने आया. खैर मैं तब तक I had overcome my fears. I went and spoke and I won the first prize in the national debating competition. So the reason I am telling you this is, you must all keep this in mind that everyone commits mistakes. Everyone. I have yet to come across any individual, and I have interacted with presidents, prime ministers, who hasn't committed a mistake. And everyone goes through failures. I have yet to come across any individual who's always been successful in life. If you read my book, one here mentioned, the other is Ethical Dilemmas of a Civil Servant. In all these books, I have narrated my failures. So don't be afraid of committing a mistake or a failure. That's the first lesson I'm giving you. But don't commit the same mistake again. Learn from your mistakes. Don't live in your mistakes. खुद ही होकर खुद ही बुलंद कीजिएगा, ठीक है? Yes. उनको it should be different. लाल कलम से लिखिए, नीला कलम से लिखिए, क्या मतलब है? So don't try and be different. Be yourself. That's it. You'll be different in any case. Each one is different.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So today we were lucky to have Mr. Anil Swarup, ex-Secretary Government of India, amidst us. बहुत ही अच्छा सेशन रहा. ये सेशन अन पर्टिकुलर हमने वैली के सिविल सर्विस एस्पिरेंट के लिए ऑर्गेनाइज करवाया था कि वैली में भी वही एक्सपोजर, वही मेंटोरशिप और वही गाइडेंस मिल पाए जो दिल्ली में लोगों को मिल रही है. और अनिल स्वरूप साहब को हमने पहले भी यहाँ एज अ गेस्ट लाया है फॉर द इनॉग्रेशन ऑफ दिस अकेडमी, एंड टुडे ही वाज हियर टू गाइड द न्यू बैच विच हैज रिसेंटली स्टार्टेड इन आवर इंस्टीट्यूट. और ये हमने सेशन सिर्फ बैच के लिए नहीं बल्कि ओपन रखा था. हमने सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स के थ्रू जो है इसको पब्लिश किया था, एंड वी हैड कीप्ट इट ओपन कि जो भी इसमें आना चाहे ये फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट था कि अनिल स्वरूप साहब के साथ इंटरेक्ट करके कुछ गेन कर सके कि सिविल सर्विसेज एग्जाम IAS KAS की प्रिपरेशन कैसे की जाए. बच्चों ने बहुत सवाल पूछे, बहुत अच्छा इंटरेक्शन रहा, और हमारे अपने बच्चों ने भी और अब बाहर के बच्चों ने भी बहुत फ़ायदा उठाया इस सेशन से. और ऐसे सेशन हम करवाते रहेंगे क्योंकि इन एग्ज़ाम की प्रिपरेशन में सिर्फ कंटेंट, सिर्फ पढ़ना ही काफ़ी नहीं होता, बल्कि एक राइट गाइडेंस और एक मोटिवेशन भी होना ज़रूरी होता है. वही हमारा मकसद है कि वो एक्सपोजर, वो लेवल ऑफ मोटिवेशन, वो लेवल ऑफ गाइडेंस वैली में मिले, लोगों को बाहर ना जाना पड़े. पर होपफुली उस चीज़ में हम सक्सीड भी कर रहे हैं. वी हैव हैड अमेजिंग रिजल्ट्स इन द लास्ट 2 KAS एग्जाम. आपने एंट्रेंस पे देखा होगा 2021 में हमारे 25 रिजल्ट थे, 2022 में हमारे 18 रिजल्ट्स थे. एंड वी विल कीप कंटिन्यूइंग विद दिस गाइडेंस प्रोग्राम एंड कोचिंग एंड मेंटोरशिप फॉर द एस्पिरेंट्स ऑफ वैली. And we are very lucky कि government recognizing the capability of our institute has empaneled Roots IAS Academy, a venture of Inksec Udan, in the Parvaz scheme recently, in which there was a rigorous selection process. बहुत रिग्रेसली इंस्टीट्यूट को टटोला गया, उनकी कैपेबिलिटी को, उनकी कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी को, उनके इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को, यहाँ तक कि इतनी बारीकी से देखा गया क्या इस इंस्टीट्यूट के पास लाइब्रेरी है कि नहीं है, क्या इनके पास ऑनलाइन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है कि नहीं है, स्मार्ट क्लासरूम्स है कि नहीं है. एंड थैंक गॉड वी आर वेरी हैप्पी कि उस सभी चीज़ों में हम खरे निकले, और वी हैव फाइनली बीन इम्पैनल्ड बाय बिशप यूथ फॉर द परवाज स्कीम टू ट्रेन द स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ द वैली फॉर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ सिविल सर्विसेज एग्जाम.
एक सवाल, ट्रांसपोर्ट रहेंगे
जी. देखिए सर, इस आपको पता है कि स्मार्ट सिटी के चलते बहुत सारा कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्क चल रहा है. डेफिनेटली कुछ एरियाज जो हैं उसमें प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. वी हैव बीन टॉकिंग टू पीपल जो ये सुमो वगैरह जो 4 व्हीलर्स हैं, जो एक क्लस्टर जगह पे रखी जाए जहाँ से बच्चे जमा हो सकें और वहाँ से यहाँ पर आ सकें. उसके अलावा हॉस्टल की भी इनकी इशू थी, वो भी हमने सॉल्व कर दिया है. फिलहाल हमारे ही बिल्डिंग के अंदर हॉस्टल फैसिलिटी भी हमने शुरू करवा दी है. एक जो ये ओनर है बिल्डिंग के, ही वाज काइंड एनफ टू स्टार्ट दैट. तो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के रिलेटेड भी हम वी आर सॉल्विंग द इशू रिगार्डिंग कि सूमो कहीं एक पर्टिकुलर जगह से बच्चों को उठा के यहाँ ड्रॉप करे और वापस भी ले जाए. साथ ही साथ हमने यहाँ पर भी जो लोग दूर दराज से आ रहे हैं, दूसरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट से आ रहे हैं, उनको ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सॉल्व करने के लिए उनके हॉस्टल फैसिलिटी यही क्रिएट कर दी. क्योंकि घर से बाहर तो वो निकले ही हैं, बडगाम, शोपियान, पुलवामा से वो आई हैं, तो इससे अच्छा कि वो कहीं और रहे, वो बिल्डिंग के अंदर ही रह रहे हैं. एक कदम पे क्लासरूम है, एक कदम पे लाइब्रेरी है, हर चीज फैसिलिटी यहीं पर है, और कैंटीन भी हमने शुरू कर दी है यहाँ पर.
In time at IAS Roots Academy, I had come here last year when the academy was launched, and I'm so glad that it has grown so much. It was a pleasure interacting with tens of aspirants who were here, and all of them looked very bright to me. I'm sure they're going to benefit by being guided by IAS Roots Academy, and they will qualify for the civil service. The civil service also required such bright people, and with the guidance of this academy, I'm hopeful that many of them will qualify for the civil service. My best wishes to them.